Hello everyone, it's good to see you again, and today I have a very beautiful chess game to show you which took my attention, so I hope you will enjoy this chess game as much as I did. So in this chess game, actually the player who is playing with the black pieces is a famous chess player. He is Robert Byrne. He was the United States chess champion in 1972. A very strong chess player for that time, and his opponent was John Curdo, and this chess player, John Curdo, is actually quite an interesting chess player with a very interesting record. So I like to mention a little bit about this very fascinating chess player before showing this very beautiful chess game. So basically he was an American chess player, and he is best known for winning the Massachusetts State Championship 17 times between 1948 and 1985, as well as the US Senior Championship. So he never became a chess grandmaster or international chess master, but he was still known for 50 years as one of the strongest players in New England. And he also had some significant, important victories over some of the famous chess grandmasters, such as Paul Benko, Robert Byrne, and Arthur Bisquer. And also there is an interesting information about John Curdo. As of August 2009, Mr. Curdo had won 830 chess tournaments over the course of his chess career, and this number is believed to be a world record by a wide margin. So interesting, an interesting chess player, and I have a very nice chess game of John Curdo to show you from the 95th US Open Chess Tournament from 1994, and Mr. Curdo unfortunately has passed away not a long time ago in 2022, and Robert Byrne also passed away in 2013, only for the records. So let's begin and let's see what happened in this chess game. We have e4 and we have the Sicilian defense, so blocking with the knight and d4, and then e5, attacking the knight, check, and this is also attacking the bishop, the only defense which is not losing the bishop, knight to c3, and then knight to e4, and there is pressure on the knight, bishop to d2 by John Curdo. And is this losing the bishop because knight takes knight? Well, of course not. Bishop takes knight, in between move, bishop takes on d7, bishop takes on d7, check, and then capturing the bishop, and then capturing the knight and attacking the queen and saving the piece. So queen to a4 and then d5, and gaining an important space in the center. So we have e6 and decisions. Well, we have knight to g5. The knight is getting in close proximity to the king. The knight is getting closer to the king. And we have d takes on e5. And not pawn takes pawn or bishop takes pawn, but queen to f3 and threatening checkmate, attacking on f7, check. It is not going to be checkmate, but that would be losing. So black is simply defending with pushing the pawn, but then d takes on e6 and attacking the bishop. So we have bishop to c6. And this is an interesting position, because right now, as you can see, black is attacking the queen with the bishop, and at the same time the knight is under attack. So how to extricate yourself in the situation? Well, maybe retreating the knight and interposing, blocking the bishop comes to mind in this position. But John Curdo played queen to f5 and offering the piece, but we have bishop to e7. Let's see what happens if capturing the knight, then castling from the queen side, and how to defend the checkmate threat. So the rook is cutting the king off, and actually in this position There is no reasonable defense. Black can only prolong the game for surviving, but his position is losing. So if bishop to d6, then we have check, king over, and then rook takes, and everything is falling apart. And even Houdini can survive this. This is all over, basically. So we have queen to f5 by John Curdo, sacrificing the knight to checkmate to hunt the king. We have bishop to e7, and then castling from the queen side. And as you can see, white is controlling the important open d file with the rook. The rook has the open file. And then we have g6, and it looks like white is losing material in this position. Well, of course, if capturing the knight right now, it would be a very funny blunder. Then we have queen to f7, checkmate. There is no defense. So castling from the queen side, and you can take the knight, but after g6 it appears that white is losing material, because after defending the queen, the knight is going to be under attack. The knight is hanging. So queen to h3, and simply Robert Byrne captured the knight. And then bishop takes on e5, but in this position you can see that the rooks are not connected. Black pieces are lacking in coordination. The king is in the center, and it looks like a clunky position for Robert Byrne. So I'm sure that he was not very pleased with his position at this moment of the game. He was not very happy. And this is also attacking the rook. The rooks are not connected. The king is in the center. Disaster everywhere. A very difficult position. So Robert Byrne decided to castle to solve his problems. But this is actually not solving anything. You will see shortly if you didn't realize what's happening here. So in this position, if something like rook to g8, then queen takes on h7 and attacking the rook, you can see that this is also a pain in the neck. The rook is occupying the open file, and this pawn is also a pain in the neck, which is very advanced, and there is no defense actually. You can't do nothing in this position attacking the rook. So if rook to f8, then we have check, and then checkmate. It's that simple. So there is no defense. So bishop takes on e5 and black castled, but then queen to h6 and threatening checkmate. How to defend in this position? The famous chess player Robert Byrne, the United States chess champion in 1972, although this game was played in 1994, maybe Robert Byrne was not at his peak. He played rook to f6. This position is a very difficult position. He's most definitely losing. Well, we have rook to f6, pressing the panic button, but if something like bishop to f6, then white has this very strong move, h4, and the idea is sacrificing the bishop and then opening the menacing h-file, and black has no defense in this position. Black doesn't have any good defense also because of this advanced pawn. If pushing the pawn, I believe white can push the pawn again and white is winning, because this pawn is going to be pinned and then you can take, and disaster everywhere. So we have, let's say, bishop takes and then opening the h-file, and there is no reasonable defense in this position. If rook takes, then check, and basically black is getting force checkmated, and there is no reasonable defense. This is getting force checkmated. Okay. So now castling to solving the problem. Let's not forget where we were. Castling and then queen to h6, threatening checkmate and pressing the panic button and defending with the rook. But then white is simply pushing the pawn. And this very similar idea, white wants to open the h-file, and if pushing the pawn, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, white can push the pawn again. And what can you do then? I don't see any good defense after pushing the pawn. Defending with the bishop is also probably not going to work, if I'm not mistaken, because of f3 and then g4 and not g4, but you can see that it's a very difficult position. So in this difficult position, Robert Byrne played bishop to f8. If you noticed, Mr. Curdo is not even capturing the rook. He is improving his position. And in this position, the queen is under attack. And black is a piece up. But maybe in this position, queen takes on g5 comes to mind. But what would you do in this position if you had the white pieces? Let me give you a few seconds. If you want, you can also pause the video and try to guess the next move for white. So it's actually not a so difficult move to find, but let me give you a few seconds and okay, I hope you have seen the move. When I first saw this chess game, I considered that move when I first saw it. So I hope you also considered that move, because in this position, John Curdo played queen takes on h7, that's check. What an incredible move. So sacrificing the queen, king takes is the only move, and then he opens the menacing h file, that's check. So king to g8, and then king to g7 doesn't work because of check, and we have this fantastic checkmate. If you wish, you can also play this and then checkmate the king like this. But in this position, after h takes on g5, king to g8, after g takes on f6, Robert Byrne resigned, the United States chess champion from 1972. Unbelievable, an unbelievable chess game, an incredible queen sacrifice. What an amazing rampage attack by John Curdo. So at move 22, Robert Byrne resigned. Basically a miniature, one of the most crushing defeats in the chess career of Robert Byrne maybe. So John Curdo was not even a chess grandmaster or an international chess master of chess. So let me show you the possible continuation. So how to defend the checkmate threat. For example, in this position, if something like queen takes on a2, then we can push the pawn checkmate, because the bishop and the rook is also occupying the escape square. So if something like bishop to d6, then we have check, only move, check, only move, and then check, and then throwing the bishop in. This is very forced, and there is no defense in this position. Rook is coming, and that's game over. So some random move and then checkmate. The final variation was only for prolonging the torture. What a game. So I hope you have enjoyed watching this chess game, and I hope to see you next time with more instructive, beautiful chess games. Stay safe, take care, and bye bye.